Isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ngayon ay April 7, 2022, Thursday. At sa labas po ay medyo makulimlim, minsan umaaraw po. Pero sana po ay nasa mabuti tayong kalagayan. Ito po ang The Stock Market Today. Kung first time niyo po sa channel nito, ako po si Benji Chidoro. Ako ay isang retired bank officer na nagsimula mag-invest sa Philippine stock market in 2007. Ginagawa ko po itong report every day. And I started this channel on August 2020. I also report the latest news on your favorite and most active stocks. If you like the content, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you have stocks in mind that you want reviewed, please comment on the comment box and I will prioritize. Hindi po ako financial advisor. Anything I say in this channel should not be construed as financial advice. Ang ating financial news ay tungkol sa the 2022 Forbes Richest in the Philippines. Kasama po ang ating financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading sa ating PSE ngayong araw, April 7, 2022. Dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Okay, so let's start with our financial headlines. And dito po tayo sa video securities. In the macro news, ADB says Philippine economy to grow at 6% this year, but risks still loom. Department of Finance says flurry of foreign investors to hike wages in the Philippines. Bank's NPL ratio or net non-performing loans hits 3-month high in February. Naku, hindi po ito maganda, no? Kasi non-performing loans po, yan po yung mga hindi nakakapagbayan after a certain period, nagiging non-performing loans po. And then, PH to open 2-level mall in Rojas City. CNPF full year 21 earnings up 20% year-on-year to 2.7 billion. Okay, so yan po ang ating financial headlines, but our main headlines is in the business world. Villar still the richest among the Philippines billionaires. So let me put up my slide in a moment. Yan po ang ating slide. And may I read that article from the business world. Real estate tycoon and former politician Manuel B. Villar Jr. is still the richest Filipino on Forbes 2022 World's Billionaire list after his net worth jumped by 15% to $8.3 billion or around 426.6 billion pesos. Mr. Villar ranked 263rd out of 2,688 billionaires on the Forbes list, climbing 89 spots from the previous year. A former Senate President and House Speaker, Mr. Villar is the founder and chairman of several listed companies including Vistaland and Lifescapes, Vista Malls, Golden MV Holdings, All Home, All Day Marts. His Vista REIT Inc. is planning to conduct an initial public offering this month. Enrique K. Razon, chairman of port operator International Container Terminal Services, or ICTSI, was second richest Filipino on the Forbes list, tracking 369 with a net worth of 6.7 billion, up by 34% from last year. The 6 children of the late Henry C. Sr. were all in the Forbes billionaire list. The SM Group founder was the Philippines' richest man for 11 consecutive years before his death in 2019. Henry C. Jr., chairman of SM Prime Holdings, ranked 1,096 on the list with a net worth of $2.8 billion. His brothers Hans and Herbert were both at 1,196 with a net worth of $2.6 billion each, followed by Harley and Teresita T.C. Coson at the 1,292nd spot with 2.4 billion. His sister Elizabeth landed at 1,445th place with $2.1 billion. Also ranked 1,096 on the list was Alliance Global Group Inc. Chairman Andrew L. Tan with 2.8 billion. Ramon S. Ang, President and Chief Operating Officer and Vice Chairman at Diversified Conglomerate San Miguel Corp. Ranked 1,513th on the Forbes list with 2 billion. JG Summit President and Chief Executive Officer Lance Y. Gokongwei landed at 1,818th spot with $1.6 billion, followed by Jollibee Foods Corp. Founder Tony Tan Katyong in 2,190th place with $1.3 billion. Mondanisan Corp. President Betty T. Ang, Converge Information and Communications Technology Solutions Inc. President Maria Grace Y. Uy and LT Group Inc. Chairman and Founder Lucio Tan shared 2,342nd place with 1.2 billion each. Ms. Ang and Ms. Uy are newcomers in the billionaires list. Ms. Uy ranked higher than her husband and Converge Chief Executive Officer Dennis Anthony H. Uy, who ranked 2,578 with $1 billion. Mr. Uy shared the spot with Alphaland Corp. Chairman Roberto V. Ongpin, Nari Henomal, Ramesh Henomal, Sander Henomal, who all had a net worth of $1 billion each. Sander Henomal owns Bangalore-based Page Industries, which is described as a license for jockey underwear. He and his brothers Nari and Ramesh have Philippine citizenship. Based on records at the Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission, the Henomal-led GTVL Manufacturing Industries Inc. saw its revenues decline by 44.1% to 324.19 million in 2020 and posted a net loss of 27.49 million. It is the sole licensee of the Jockey underwear brand in the Philippines. The Forbes annual billionaires list included 2,668 billionaires with a combined net worth of $12.7 trillion, which is lower than last year's $13.1 trillion. A total of 329 people dropped out of the list. Tesla founder Elon Musk topped the billionaires list for the first time with a net worth of $219 billion, replacing top billionaire Jeff Bezos, who fell second place with $171 billion. Okay, so that is our main news for the day, and let's check our, galing. Si Manny Villar is at the top of the list, and let's check our comments of our dear subscribers. I think we have a few here. Sabi ni Ricardo Atiliano Jr., thank you Sir Bench. I owned the stock before X date. Now I can sell it during X date. Previously I waited for X date to finish. Thank you. Okay, thank you also. And then thanks sir, more power po. Sabi po ni Philip or Frank Nifares. Sabi po ni Philip Gons, hi sir, thanks. Charlie Miguel says, sir, can you please review a stock that is not hit or affected by high inflation? Thank you. Alam mo, Charlie, napakahirap ng tanong mo. Kasi lahat tinatamaan ng inflation eh. You know what I mean? The thing is, you have to tell me which stock that I have to review. Kasi kung ako yung magsasabi nun, ay mahirap magsabi. Kasi lahat ng kumpanya, tinatamaan po yan ng inflation. Wala pong immune sa inflation. Now, the thing is, you invest in a stock that has value for money, meaning yung presyo niya is undervalued, it has good management, it gives regular dividends, it has been there for quite some time. In other words, yung sinasabi ko po ay blue chip stocks, malalaking kumpanya po yan na well managed. In which case, somehow you are insulated from inflation. Kasi if the growth of the company is greater than the inflation rate, then you have beaten the inflation. Kasi bumababa po yan eh. Inflation is bumababa, tumataas. Ngayon, yung kumpanya rin, pagka may inflation, ay naapektuhan yung kanyang kumpanya, magtataas po siya ng presyo. In general, the rule is, if there is inflation or there is a rise in interest rates, lumalayo po yung investor sa stock market. Pero kung mababa po yung inflation rate at mababa po yung interest rate, in general, ay the people invest in the stock market. Yun po ang general rule, pero hindi po all the time nangyayari yun. Ha? So, yun po ang aking advice. No? There is no company that is immune to inflation. Everything is immune to every company is affected by the economic environment, no? Because lahat tayo apektado eh. Lahat tayo apektado. Rise in prices, which mean rise in wages, yun, all these things apektado ang kumpanya. No? So, dun sa tanong mo, hindi ko yan masasagot, no? Lahat apektado yan. So, wala pong stock na review, but choose a stock which would beat the inflation rate. Diba? So, kung inflation rate ay 10%, example lang, 5%, yung growth niya dapat more than 5. Dapat mga 6 or 7 yearly. So, maghanap ka ng stock na gano'n. Okay? Maghanap ka ng stock na gano'n. Pero wala pong stock na immune or wala pong company na immune sa inflation. Okay, maraming pong salamat sa inyong tanong, no, Charlie. And right now, let's go to the Philippine Stock Exchange and the Philippine Stock Exchange Index on how it fared today. Okay. Wow, look at that. The PSE lost 183.23 points or 2.58% down to finish at 6926.03. So red engulfing po ito. And if you will draw the support level, ang support level po niya currently ay nandito po sa 69.64. So nasa vicinity po ng support itong PSE, and hopefully, since this is support level, it may bounce, no? It may bounce the following day. So abangan po natin yan. The next support level of the PSE is here at 68.24. So nasa 6,800 level na po, no? So what's causing it? Dito po sa news natin, PSEI moves lower as US Federal Reserve hints of at a rate hike. So maaring magkaroon po ng increasing interest rates, ano? And ito po yung sinasabi ko po kanina, in general, if the rates goes up, the index or the stocks goes down. Yun po yung general relationship ng interest rates and inflation sa stock market. And that is to answer the question of one of our subscribers, no? Anyway, yan po ang level ngayon ng PSE. Doon sa market summary naman ay 139 companies declined, 33 advanced while 52 remained unchanged. All share index down 2.10%, slightly lower. All our financial or sectoral indices are down, and dati ito over 2%. Properties led the decliners at 2.97, followed by the financials at 2.87. No? It's a big drop. So let's now review the most active stocks, but let's review the next 6, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's URC, BPI, Ayala Corporation, TEL, MBT, and Glow. Okay? So makita po natin kung anong nangyayari dito sa mga stocks natin ito. So let's start with URC. Yan, URC ay red engulfing din. It follows the general trend. Ano? URC is an index stock. And I thought it was just moving sideways. It still looks like moving sideways as the medium and short-term indicators are piercing through, but the long-term indicator is still above. So it's sideways to bearish po ang kanyang movement with a red engulfing candlestick, ano? And red engulfing, as we know it, is a bearish indication on the stock. But as I have noted earlier, the PSE index has reached its support level. Dito naman, ang pinaka-support ng URC nandito po sa 103. And resistance is here at 128. And then after URC, bangko naman tayo. Let's go to BPI. Si BPI naman, okay, so BPI also a red candlestick, but this is not as engulfing as as URC, no? Yung ating support, I see it here at 91, and a two successive red candlestick is not a very good indication for BPI. So yung support level here, that's the lower support, and the next higher support level would be here, just touching the M100 at 95.18, ano? But it's 95.57 here. So more or less, yan po ang pinaka next support po natin for BPI with a bearish indication. Bearish on the medium and short term. No? RSI is also bearish at 44. And then Ayala Corporation, yan, it's an engulfing red candlestick, and I think this is support. It's on support area, nandito po sa 764, so it's in the vicinity of the support, and the movement or the general direction is bearish. Yun po, no? So yung RSI po is also bearish at 39, but since it is in the support area, then abangan po natin bukas kung meron pong bounce ang Ayala Corporation. Then TEL, si TEL naman ay yan, it's just nag-decline lang siya ng konti, 1795, but it's somewhat a huge decline, ano? 2.45%. However, yung ating long-term moving average is still above, meaning there is a long-term trend, long-term upward trend on TEL, and I would place the support of TEL at the vicinity of the MO100. It's 1765, while the resistance would be here at 1896, no? So tingnan po natin, kasi TEL naman is a good company, it gives good dividends. Meron siyang, nagbigay po siya noong April 4 na 42 centavos per share. So 1795 is a pretty good price, but if we can get to a lower level, say the support area of 1765, then so much the better, no? Yun po ang pinaka-support area ni TEL. Then Metrobank, nasa ano ito, nasa dividend yield index, yun, red engulfing si Metrobank, and it's somewhat bearish already, no? Pero yung support level ay nandito pa po, no? 52.14. It gave dividends on March 31. Wala kasi akong hawak nito eh. But maganda po, it's a dividend stock, ano? With cash dividends of 140 and 80, 220 per share. At kung susumahin po natin yung 220 per share, computing lang natin sandali yung 220 divided by 54.05. So that's 4.07% net of tax. It's 3.66. So medyo maganda na rin po if this is the first dividend payment, ano, of Metrobank. So yan po, no, on Metrobank, it's just, although this is a red engulfing candlestick, our indicators, yung moving averages, are just piercing through, indicating a somewhat sideways to bearish movement. And then finally, we have Glow. Si Glow, ay bearish si Glow. Bearish po siya. Tingnan natin yung fundamentals ni Glow. Si Glow, based on BDO Securities, meron siyang target price na 68.50 or a 17% upside, more or less, no? 1785 ang target price niya. So meron pa siyang room to move up, but this is bearish right now. So maganda pong bumili, no, ng stock na ito. Ang support niya nandito po sa 2240. And it has been moving downwards, no? Now, let's see. Kung tumaas po ito and bumaba, example lang po, no? I may just be imagining things, pero ganun po talaga mga traders, very imaginative. Kung tumaas po yan at patuloy na bumaba, we have a head and shoulders formation, no? So ito yung first shoulder, yung left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Kung ganyan po ang mangyayari sa MPT. So we will have a bearish head and shoulders kasi is a bearish sign on the stock in general, no? So yan po ang ating take sa stock market. April 7, 2022. Ito po si Benji Chidoro. Nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik at hanggang sa muli. Stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.